Welcome to the first ever Corey's Corner here at the Badlands Sporting Club. You may be asking yourself right now, what exactly is Corey's Corner and why do we care? Well, I'm your host, Badlands Corey, and here we will be discussing hot takes, strong opinions, and real life circumstances from a real life golfer, your host, Badlands Corey. What better way to start this off on the eve of the first major of the year at the famed and beloved Augusta National Golf Club. The story began some 25 years ago when I was a young lad playing college golf for a predominant golf program out there. And this one particular tournament we got to play in down in Augusta, Georgia, would give you tickets to the practice round Monday morning of the tournament every year. Well, what better way to show up for the first time ever at Augusta National Golf Club than wearing my finest threads? So I packed my bags, took a shower, cleaned up, did my hair, and threw on my finest Tommy Bahama Hawaiian shirt. Damn, I look good. Well, Coach dropped us off at the front gates of Augusta National, handed us all a $20 bill and looked at us in the eyes and said, "You better not come back drunk." Interesting enough, we all looked at each other, nodded our heads, and went on our way. After passing through the gates of the famed Augusta National Golf Club, we quickly scurried our way over to the first refreshment stand. And there, it all made sense. 75-cent beers. So as we got in line, we were giggling and laughing like little schoolgirls. And I got up to the cashier, who was a high school volunteer for the week, probably as excited as I was. Handed her my $20 bill, she handed me my 2 beers, and my $18.50 back. I looked at her and said thank you and nodded and said this is going to be a great day. Well, 5 holes later, and $3.75 down, I'm packing a pretty good buzz, and I'm walking with my teammate. And lo and behold, we find ourselves on the 5th hole, and there we were, stride and stride, with the one and only Colin Montgomerie. Me being the young, overly aggressive golfer I was, slightly tipsy at the time, I turned on my teammate and said, "Hey, Monty's wearing khakis so tight, you can see his panty line." Well, sure enough, I'd said it loud enough for him to hear. And unlike recent events where some young kid, much like myself, made a comment or two to another predominantly dominant player in his day, got his phone taken away, police called on him, and escorted off the property. Well, on this particular day, Monty looked over at me without skipping a beat and said, "Nice shirt, kid." I looked down, I looked back at Monty, I nodded my head, and graciously accepted defeat. Because no matter how tight his pants were, he was right, it was a terrible look. So here's just a tip. If you're attending this year's Masters, make sure you got your finest threads on and put your phone away in case you run into Rory. Happy Masters, everybody. Until next time, I'm out.